When a child is born, it's usually a great day of joy and celebration for the child's family. They gather around that child and they celebrate. They celebrate the new life that had come into the world. But if we look at it from the perspective of the child, our birthday is not exactly joyful. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Think about it. For 9 months, we dwell in the wombs of our mothers, where all our needs are anticipated and instantly met. A world of quiet, of security, of comfort. Suddenly, all that changes. We find ourselves being squeezed and pushed and thrust out into a strange new world that we do not know. A world of bright, blinding light and loud, threatening sounds. The cold rush of air over our bodies. And then suddenly, this stinging pain somewhere back here. What a fine how do you do to the world. And so the child lets out a wail, a great cry. Of pain, perhaps. Of anguish, undoubtedly. But also a great cry of protest. Because the only world that child knew is gone. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't understand what's happening. Oh, but her family and friends celebrate. They celebrate because they know the world the child cannot yet know. They know that the world can be sometimes difficult, sometimes disappointing, sometimes downright nasty. But they also know, as we all do, that life in this world is a precious gift. And everything around us, a precious gift. And so they celebrate while the child mourns. For you and me, the tables have been turned. Now it is our loved ones who celebrate while we mourn, because they have inherited a world that we cannot yet know. And so while they celebrate, we cry. We cry because we miss them. We cry because there's a presence in our lives that is gone, a hole that cannot be filled. But my friends, we gather here this evening to reaffirm our trust in the promise of the one who died and rose so that we might rise from death. We gather here to reaffirm our faith in that promise that our loved ones are in good hands. Wisdom reminds us this evening that it's only in the view of the foolish that our beloved deceased should be thought of as dead, that their going forth from us is some kind of destruction or punishment. Wisdom declares that our beloved deceased are in peace. We might not be, but they certainly are. I think really, when we mourn, we're really not mourning for them. We're mourning for ourselves and for each other. We're mourning for our loss, as well we should. Some people say we shouldn't mourn when someone dies because they've gone to heaven. And yeah, that's great, but they're still not here. No, mourning is natural and it's necessary and it is good. Because mourning is another side of love. If we don't love, we don't mourn. But because we do love, it is good that we mourn, that we remember. But it's also important for us to reassure ourselves and each other that their life continues, as our lives will continue. This world is not all there is to what God has created. And he came into it himself to show us the way from this side to the other side, where all our beloved deceased have crossed. Imagine the joy of seeing the loved ones who went before them. Imagine the joy of seeing the one who suffered and died that we might live. Imagine the joy of being cradled in the arms of not only their earthly mothers, but also of our Blessed Mother. And they can see where we are all going. And they wait in joy to share that joy with us. Let us continue to live our lives the way they would have us live our lives, the way our Lord taught us to live. Faith, hope, and love. And as St. Paul reminds us, the greatest of these is love. It is love that has brought us here this evening. It is love for them that we carry always in our hearts. And it is their love for us that unites us as the true communion of the church. At this table where we are fed with the bread of life, the food that nourishes us to live that faith, to abide in that hope, and to share that love with each other as we continually offer it to God and to them who are with him. Let's not despair, even in the darkness of the days in which we live, with all that is going on around our world, the pain and the sorrow that so many are feeling and experiencing today. And let us love them by loving justice, by loving right, by loving truth. And these, my friends, are the way that leads to where our beloved deceased have gone, where they are in peace. May we too know that peace when we set down our own burdens and are welcomed to the table at the banquet that has no end. God bless you.